He hails from snowy Vermont, but has made the Low Country his home. On this week's Spotlight Music Series, let's welcome musician Dylan Murray. Good to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
So we were saying that we could actually be related quite possibly because I've got family from Vermont. What brought you to the Low Country?
Honestly, I needed a change. I came down here to get into sobriety, and that's a lot of the inspiration for my music comes from.
Is that right?
Stuff like that.
So you're a young man.
Yes.
You're a young man, but you found your path to sobriety at a good time. They say better late than never, but you wanted to nip that one in the bud.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the journey that brought you there?
You know, growing up, I've been through and seen and experienced a lot of unfortunate things. From a young age, I was exposed to a lot of domestic things. I've seen a lot of like criminal activity, substance abuse and stuff like that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And a lot of that trickled into my early adulthood and stuff like that. And I've had my own battles with substance abuse.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, but I'm happy to hear that you've now made the Low Country your home and that you are on that road to sobriety. But still, obviously, those experiences, they've stuck with you, and you've used music as an outlet. How cathartic has that experience been for you?
So, something my grandfather always told me is like, whenever I have something on my mind that's bothering me, I'm upset with something, to just pick up my guitar. And I started doing that, and I didn't really believe it was gonna work at first, but after like 5-10 minutes or so, I found myself lost in it. Like I completely forgot about whatever I was thinking of. And so, you know, I started using that as like a therapy kind of. And a lot of my music is just a direct reflection of how I was feeling at that time. It's just kind of how I express myself and whatever I might have been dealing with.
Well, and then you encapsulate it in songs that a lot of people can relate to. And I would imagine, you know, yours is not an unusual experience. So many people everywhere have very similar experiences, but you have a very special community too that you can lean on with other musicians. How has it been sort of joining in on those communities and finding new friends here?
Honestly, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been a lot more welcoming than I expected it. Charleston's a very open community when it comes to musicians and when it comes to young people in sobriety. I've found a lot of fellowship and met a lot of new good friends.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So how many songs have you written so far? I mean, you've been playing the guitar for how long?
About 7 years.
About 7 years. And self-taught too, which is quite remarkable. Have you been writing songs that whole time, or have you been inspired by other musicians, other genres?
I've been writing songs for probably 3 or 4 years, something like that. I got a lot of inspiration from like artists like Tyler Childers and Colter Wall. That's kind of what kicked me into writing songs. And I went down to Nashville about 2 years ago and played at a couple places down there, and that really kind of got the ball rolling for me.
And when I say inspiration from other genres, would you consider yours country?
I guess you could call it that.
Really? Okay.
Country, Americana, something like that.
Yeah, is that Americana? I can see. Country so much from Vermont? Is that typical?
You would be surprised. Vermont's all trees and cows.
That is true. That is. They've got fantastic ice cream there too.
Yes,
yeah. So hail to the cows. But country music as well really lends itself to storytelling, and maybe you can walk us through the process of just telling your story and putting it to music.
Well, usually I start with, you know, whatever emotion I have at the time, and I start to find chords that kind of emulate that feeling that I can get across to other people. And then I just, you know, it's kind of like writing sonnets, pretty much. It's like poetry. I just try to express myself in a way that other people will feel what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Do you think one day you're going to drop a record?
Yeah, I would like to, very much so.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. Well, you do have a song that you're going to be performing for us after the break. What's it called?
It's called Half Full.
Half Full. And what's the story behind that one?
It's a breakup song.
It is? Oh, well, you know what? You came to the right place because I think there's like 20 girls for every guy here. So you shouldn't have too hard of a time. All right, so coming up after the break, Half Full. Don't go anywhere.